So I want to do a video about sort of the lessons in losing. And the reason why I want to make this video is because I was kind of just watching another video. And for those of you who aren't familiar with these names, I'm going to like briefly summarize who these people are. But it was a video about Alex Hormozi reviewing a video about C-Bum. C-Bum is Chris Bumstead. He's a professional bodybuilder. I think he's a Mr. Olympia champion. Alex Hormozi, if you guys are watching, you're not familiar with him. He's a very famous entrepreneur, has a very big company, almost a billionaire. We'll leave it at that. If you don't know him, then that's about all that's relevant. Watching the video, though, on Instagram, and long story short, the video that Alex Hormozi was reacting to was a video of C-Bum, Chris Bumstead, pretty much saying, I guess, that he didn't want to compete in the next Mr. Olympia because he was afraid of losing, something along those lines. And Alex Hormozi gets mad at him and says to him, you know, why would you not want to take the risk of losing? Because if you don't try, then you can't win. Something along those lines. I'm probably like misphrasing it, but that doesn't quite matter. But in the reaction video Alex Hormozi made, he was pretty much saying that there's no lessons in losing except that you want to win. And that's kind of what I want to make this video about, because I fundamentally actually disagree with that message. I think the idea of winning, first of all, I'm going to say this. A lot of people like to win things because they like to tell people that they won something. It's like an ego thing. It's like you're in a room full of people and you think that by being, you're the best if you're the person who wins the most. And I really think a lot of people, what they should do is define what winning means to them. That's like the thing that I've kind of learned in my life. What does winning mean to you? And I say this, and the reason why I disagree with Alex Hormozi's message is because it's possible to compete in a game that you don't care about, but you've been sucked into it because other people around you tell you you should play. And whether you win or lose, especially if you win, you're kind of screwing yourself over in the long run. Does that make sense? I'll give an example that might help illustrate this point. This whole idea in society of making enough money to keep up with the Joneses or keep up with the Kardashians is a prime example of playing a game that you don't need to win. When people play this whole game of like, I need to make the most money, I need to become a multimillionaire. There's plenty of people I've talked to, by the way, in my company, Productivity Accelerator. It's not a pitch, but it's relevant, so I'm bringing it up. I have a company called Productivity Accelerator. We help busy professionals kind of achieve more and maximize the value of their time. A lot of people, when they come to me, I ask them, what is your goal? What do you want out of life? And a lot of people give very generic answers, the answers that they're told throughout their entire lives to give, the answers that they've never actually thought through, but they're repeating what other people around them have told them to say. I want to become rich. I want to become a millionaire. I want to be successful. And I always say the same thing to these people. And I'm going to say it a little bit harshly to you because you're watching this, but you know, of course, because they're a potential client, I wouldn't say this mean, but this is what I mean. What the fuck does that mean? I say this a lot to people. What does it mean to be successful? What does it mean to be a multimillionaire or a millionaire? What do you get from achieving these things? And I put these things in quotation because for a lot of people, I really don't think they've sat there and thought this through. Like, what are the pros? What are the cons? What does this thing mean? What is the objective position? Or what is the objective destination that I want to get to? It's frustrating. Because I think for a lot of people, if those are your goals, you're going to reach a point where you're playing this game your entire life, hoping to become a multimillionaire, hoping to become a millionaire, hoping to become some successful business owner, hoping to become, you know, rich or whatever, get higher status, whatever you want. Those kind of cliche things that you're told to want out of life. And you'll go your entire life always feeling empty, always feeling hopeless, always feeling like you're not achieving the things that you want to get done, or feeling like you're just lost. Even if you do achieve things from like an objective standpoint, maybe your income does increase year after year, or maybe you do get more status. Maybe you're in some company and you do escalate up the ranks, or you do climb that corporate ladder. You're probably going to go your entire life feeling empty. And the question is, why do you feel so empty? The answer is because you're chasing something that doesn't matter to you. It never mattered to you, but you were told that it should matter. You're winning. You're playing a game and you are winning. But the problem is, you're so focused on winning, you didn't bother to ask, was the game even worth playing in the first place? So this is why I disagree with the message Alex Hormozi shared. And I agree with a lot of stuff he says. This is one of those things I don't agree with. Because for a lot of people, they're playing games that just aren't worth playing. It's kind of like, this might be a weird example, but I know when I was in college, there's some like video games, for example, I'd play with friends or with strangers. And there are some games I was really good at. And the problem with winning in certain games is that after a while of winning, you feel like you can't be beaten. And if you feel like you can't be beaten, the game is no longer fun to play. Like, part of playing a game is the potential of losing. And that might sound weird to people, and perhaps you watching this, you might not agree. But I feel like for a lot of people, if they really sat there and thought about it, to me, like, the only purpose of playing a game is to potentially lose. Now, obviously, you don't go into a game hoping to lose. You go in hoping to win. But if there's no chance, if there's a 100% chance that every single game you ever play, you're going to win no matter what you do, then you have to sit there and ask yourself, is the game even worth playing in the first place? Now, obviously, when it comes to success and money and stuff like that, it's a bit different, and you're not guaranteed to win. But the point that I'm making is that he says there's no lessons in losing except that you've learned that you want to win. And I disagree. I think when you lose, there are a lot of lessons to be learned. I think it depends on the individual. I think the lessons are going to be deeply subjective. Sometimes the lesson can be how to win next time. Sometimes it could be what strategies did I take that led me to this failure. Many lessons can be learned through losing. But when you win, in my personal opinion, you really just learn one lesson, which is how to win. Like, you don't even really learn the lesson of how to win. You learn what the feeling of winning is like. That's kind of the only lesson that you get from winning. So, I don't know. I don't want to make this video too long, but in the grand scheme of things, is there a lesson in losing? Absolutely. Now, should people strive to be losers? No. But I think people should really sit there and ask themselves, rather than focus on simply winning and losing, ask yourself, what is the game that you're willing to play where winning actually means something and losing means something as well? Does that make sense? Just because I'm still on this topic, I just want to kind of bring this up. Going to the success thing. There's a lot of people I see, they chase this idea of success based on what they see on TV or what they see other people who are not successful themselves share with them. They'll watch a TV show, for example, like a $1 Million Listing type thing, like one of those real estate reality TV shows. And I'm saying this as someone who is a real estate agent. Technically, I have my license, but I don't actively do real estate. I'm a consultant. That's one of my side jobs, but it's not something I pursue regularly, nor do I share it that much because it doesn't matter to me. People will watch shows like that and see like the girls who put tons of makeup on, who get the boob jobs, who wear the nice fancy clothes, who commingle in all these like overly fancy settings, who go to these like luxury houses and say, this is what success looks like. This is success. If I don't look this part, if I don't act this way, if I'm not in these settings, I am not successful. And I will say this, I'm not on these shows obviously, but a TV show is different than reality. All the stuff that might lead to you becoming successful and like actually getting a lot of money aren't fun. You probably won't want to do them. And I'm saying this as someone who's met people who want to be successful until they actually have to do the things that lead to them being successful, and they don't want to be successful anymore because they're like, oh, I thought success was just having these like nice cars and living in these nice houses and always just like pretending like I'm super fancy and super, like high status. And it's like, yeah. Funny enough, if you're gonna be successful, you gotta like actually work, sometimes. Funny how that works out. Oh, I have to work? I have to put in, 9+ hours a day, 12 hours a day on average, 15 hours a day, maybe a lot of the time, majority of the time, just to get some money that I can never really spend, or I spend it on people who don't really matter, or I spend it on things that people actually don't give a fuck about besides the other people who are doing the exact same thing as me, just to posture and pretend like they're bigger and better than they actually are. That's not very fun at all. That's kind of shitty. Yeah, it kind of is. So, but it's good that you figured this out now instead of like playing this game for 40, 50, 60 years of your life only to come to this conclusion towards the end of life. Like, so I don't know. I bring this up just because it's always interesting. Like, bottom line of this video, if you're going to play a game, ask yourself if the game you're playing is worth playing in the first place. Then once you've asked that question and once you've like sat there and really analyzed it, thought it through, then you can figure out if the lessons on winning, you can figure out what the lessons on winning or losing are. And then you can take note of those lessons and use those lessons to grow and to figure out what the best purpose for you is. Hopefully that makes sense. If it did, leave a like, leave a comment below if it does or doesn't make sense, if you disagree or agree. And if you like this video and you want to see more like this, I've already asked you to leave a comment. So I guess you can subscribe or you can share the video. that'd be something that might help me. It'll help push my channel to more people who might enjoy content just like this. But anyway, I've been rambling too long. I'll see you next video. Peace out. Bye.